the three parts of the divine, the creating part, the sustaining part, and the destroying part, or dissolving, dissolution. And partly it's coming to mind because 10 years ago we started a center in Vancouver called Radha Vancouver. And actually several people here have been there, Ravina, and several people have taught there, Jyotinanda and Matananda and myself. Lorraine was there for many years being our accountant before she came back to the ashram. And it had a life. So it was born at one point out of an idea. And the idea was mainly to bring people together, particularly to provide a place for young people in the world, kind of bridge the ashram in the world. And it was going to be a place of music and art and yoga and food and opportunity and a bridge to the ashram. So a lot happened over 10 years. And then today, we were putting things into the ashram, incorporating things from there to here, because I'll be going back to Vancouver in a few weeks to close the center. So I was there a few weeks ago and started packing stuff up to move here. And in a few weeks, I'll be going back and we'll actually be selling the building. So it had a life. It was born. It gave a lot of life to the people who were there. It gave a lot of connection and inspiration. It really inspired me and helped me to grow and expand. Just expand that bridging to the world part, because I think it's really important for everyone. Almost no one lives at an ashram their whole life. So people come here for a time and then they go back into the world. So we have to know both places. We have to know the city and the retreat center and be able to bring what we've gained here out. And so that's kind of the point of all the Radha centers, which are also all changing. So the dissolution part is Shiva. Sometimes we think that spiritual life should be elevated. It should be only the very best. We have to, when we carry stuff around all of our lives, at some point we have to speak it, say it, and become free of it. And so that's a lot of what happens, I think, in the course, in the YDC, or when you come to the ashram with that purpose of seeking something more. The more you're seeking is yourself, right? Because you're already whole. And so the thing that you have to do is let go of the stuff that you're carrying that is heavy or that you don't need anymore. So that the part that you want to shine has that place to shine through. And I was thinking of how hard it is, because again, going back to the stuff that we brought back from Vancouver, some of it is obviously reusable, and some of it we just carried from here to there, and now we're going to have to do something else with it. And it's really great when we can reuse it and give it new life. And that's like, I mean, it's a bit of a stretch, but it's kind of like reincarnation, right? So we're giving something a new life. And some things we just have to get rid of, and they have to transform in a different way. So there's birth, and that comes from our ideas. What do we want to grow? What do we want to come alive? And every one of us has to think about that for ourselves. So in the Hindu tradition, Brahma is the creator, and he became not very popular in India because there's so much creation, so many people, so much, and how does it ever stop? You just keep creating and creating. In that sense, our thoughts are always spawning more thoughts, if you can bring your creativity to a fruitful place, to something that's beautiful or usable, then that's something else. And then there's sustaining. So there's the sustaining part of the divine, and that's also the healing part. That's the Hariom part. So there's the part that carries on with life. What is being born has to be looked after. And then there's the dissolving part. So for me, in this situation, it's seeing something that I was part of the creation and helped to maintain for many years, and now letting go. And the letting go always has that other aspect of turning into the unknown, the chaos or the potential of what will next be born. Because with the Radha centers, they've always meant to be little sparks of the ashram outside of the ashram. And they worked in a certain way for a certain time, and it's almost like now there needs to be a new vision for that aspect of the work.